Welcome to Unlocking Las Vegas with your favorite redhead realtor, Erin Pierson-Mills. We're going to be covering the greater areas of Las Vegas all the way to Pahrump and Mesquite, talking about trends, events, sports, and more. I'm super excited to welcome all of our guests this year and have a great time, which is everything Unlocking Las Vegas. Welcome back to another episode of Unlocking Las Vegas with your favorite redhead realtor, Erin Pierson-Mills, and
her dearest friend, Pharisee.
Hi, we got a vibe going on today.
We do.
We are outside, so let's see. May 2nd, we got about a hot 2 more weeks of really nice weather. So we are sitting outside, and we're going to enjoy it before it becomes DEF CON, the circle of hell.
Yeah, well, I mean, I told her, she's like, yeah, we need to record a podcast. And I'm like, you know what? My backyard is really a vibe right now. Everything is blooming. Everything is green. Good. We have the star jasmine. We have, just a lot of greenery. And I always really enjoy it. So I think it would just be a good setting before, it does get super, super hot.
Did you miss me last week?
I did.
No,
I did. Well, I do miss you because it's a good pace, and it's always good to have, your best friend around you. But it's like, I've just been so busy. But why don't we talk about what you were doing last week? Because clearly, if you guys pay attention, we didn't have an episode last week.
We did skip a week. So I think it's very, very important to take mini vacations. Okay. So, and not with kids. So me and my husband, we planned a trip to San Diego, one of our favorite cities. And I'll kind of tell you what we did there. But I like to joke and tell myself and joke with my husband that it's going to be an unplugged vacation, which it technically is. I do let all my clients know that we are out of town. Like, try not to bother me unless you're dying or you need my assistance really, really bad. And constantly taking videos. I mean, everything, your breathing, living life is about content. So there was a lot of that. But there wasn't a lot of this, not a lot of typing, not a lot of, actually talking to people other than Craig. So I think that's really important. When's the last time? I know we have bugs flying.
That was a black
Japanese beetle, I think they call it.
No, it's a black bumblebee.
Oh, they're fine. It's not a bee. You're good.
Oh, it was a thing.
Yeah.
So we got totally sidetracked. No, but I mean, if you guys are paying attention and you follow her, you could have seen all the amazing things. I know I was following along and I was like, oh, what is she doing today? And what are they doing today? And I think that's kind of the narrative that you've created for yourself is it's always that what's next factor with Erin. Like, what is she doing today? And who is she inspiring? Who is she impacting? And, what kind of things is she doing? And I think sometimes people may think like, oh, like, it would be nice to do all that. And the thing is like, Erin is someone who really plans, and she's pretty frugal. Like, she's very, like, she takes advantage of points. She takes advantage of coupons. She takes advantage of
talk about
deals,
how much I spent and all the coupons I got and all the people I talked to. So this entire trip,
doable, especially in this type of climate that we're in.
And it was a short weekend. It was a short weekend. Now we've got older kids, and so we can just leave the house willy-nilly because we've got teenagers and adults to take care of stuff. Now, in your phase of life, if you've got little kids, you don't have grandmas, I get it. Harder. But you can do a staycation to wherever you're at.
Oh,
but
so good.
1,000%. And so we each have 2 credit cards, me and my husband. And so we've got business and personal that we put our entire lives on credit cards, pay them off at the end of the month. You're rewarded heavily. And so we have certain hotels and certain travel. So I've got American Airlines and I have Amex, which can be slotted into any sort of travel. Mm-hmm. So like Hilton Honors. My husband has Hilton and I think Frontier. So we had free flights to San Diego, which is super quick and easy. We did not pay for the extra luggage. And so it hurts my soul, but I did pack a backpack with only 2 pairs of shoes, which is very hard for me. But, and then, we used all of our Hilton Honors points. And then we're always very nice to the staff, and he's at like a diamond status or something. Good for him. Mm-hmm. So we get automatically upgraded. Didn't even really matter. If you're in a beautiful city like San Diego, you should be out. Right. So there's 2 types of travelers. Okay. There's the kind, like a bunch of my friends are like, get an Airbnb and eat like the locals and all the things.
Yeah.
I like a hotel and maids and concierge. And I like to do the tourist things. In every city, I always do the hop on, hop off trolley bus.
Wow.
Double-decker bus.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. So San Diego's really big. Okay. So you've got your main features. You've got, Gaslamp, Little Italy, Old Town, Coronado. And so I figured it would probably cost us $150 plus in Ubers, because we didn't rent a car because it's way too expensive to rent the car and to park the car in California. And so I always find the little tour stops. All right. And so we booked the on-off tour for one day. So for less than $100, I mean, it served its purpose. We got to see the entire town. I think it was like 14 different stops,
Wow.
just bop on and off. And it was a good time. And you meet people. And then, but the first day we did the dorkiest tour on the planet.
Oh gosh, here we go.
I've always seen them and I was like, let's go. My husband was so proud. We planned nothing. I had no itinerary, but I always get the jitters. I'm like, okay, well, gotta plan something.
What are we going to do?
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
But okay. So they talked me into, because we were booking the on-off tour, and I look over and I was like, no, it's one of those buses that's on land and on sea. So it's like
What? How
a
fun.
bus boat. I've seen them in Boston, and I was like, no, I don't want to do it because it's the duck tours. They give everybody
Yeah.
whistles. Like, that's a little too jarring for me. But this seemed pretty cool. So for $100, and if you book them all at the same time, you get money off and everything. And so it did this wonderful tour on land, all the military bases, lots of information, stuff you wouldn't just know if you're just, eating with the locals and whatever. And then it went right into the sea, right into the ocean.
How fun.
And we just jived around, and they pointed out the coolest things. It's called SEAL. It stands for sea land, but you do go see the sea otters. Okay, so not the seals, but sea otters. So we passed by that.
I can't even stand it because I love all of that.
But you guys, we learned so much. And so we actually learned, and we saw where the military keeps trained dolphins, and they're in open pens. So they're more than welcome to
leave,
peace out and leave.
in the ocean?
Yes.
Just get out?
But they love being trained so much because, free room, board, health insurance.
They say dolphins they're like dogs. They really like the companionship.
You know what I learned?
What?
They have the intelligence of an 8-year-old. So they're
that's
still
really smart. I know some
very
8-year-olds that are.
mischievous, but they're very smart. And so we actually saw them pop out when the trainers were training them. Dude, these dolphins, okay, they are trained to go underground and use their sound techniques for the military and come back and report. And if they see divers that are not supposed to be there with their certain tracking devices, they'll alert the military.
Wow.
They'll go down.
That's wild.
Between them and sea otters, but sea otters have the intelligence of like a 4-year-old, I think they said. They, because military ships, they drop a lot of stuff into the ocean. And it was something like $80 billion worth of items. These dolphins and sea lions go down and they grasp with their jaws and pull up or tie a balloon to it, like a military balloon, and they rescue $80 billion worth of stuff. It was an astronomical amount. So
wow.
Then we saw a ship, and this was really cool. He pointed it out, and it looks like this big steel gray ship with 2 wings coming off of it. And it's this is the first AI ship in the world. And I was like, what? No. So let's break that down. Artificial intelligence, okay?
Right.
So they call boats she, it's a female figure.
Right.
So she drove herself, I think it was to Hawaii, to Guam, to Paris, and back, totally unmanned, completely unmanned. And her first big win was she went out into the bay. And so her artificial intelligence called out to all the ships, boats, and submarines, do your call back report. You have to report back in.
Right.
One submarine did not report back in. So she reported it to the Coast Guard. When they pulled it up, there was $150 million worth of cocaine in it.
What?
So it was doing bad things. Yeah, because it wouldn't report back its location or who was manning it. Because it was who knows from where. Colombia or whatever.
Well, hey.
Dude!
I mean, that's pretty rad.
It was awesome. So
wow. What a trip. See? And she had all this fun and it was 2 days.
I know. It was a good time.
It was 2 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was perfect.
I love that.
Yes.
Love
and I did my job. The whole trip was a write-off because found a bunch of open house signs when we were walking around, visited some open houses. I actually got a brand new client. I don't know if I told you that. It was pretty cool. The social collective is really taking off. So other than being a real estate agent, buy, sell, invest, whatever. So I train on social media, and we also offer virtual assistants. I just naturally talk to people. So we were on the docks when the ships were coming in. They're cutting the fish right there, and putting it on the side. You could purchase it. And they were feeding the sea lions, right? It was so adorable. And me and this woman, we were just giggling. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just love you. And she was like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I realtor, train on social media, and have virtual assistants. She's like, well, what's that about? My husband just walks away. He's like, I'm out. I'm going to go find us some sodas.
She's networking.
So come to find out that this sweet lady, she wants to promote her spinach artichoke dip like really, really hard. And she wants to go viral reading old fashioned like children's books.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, I don't even have a Facebook. And so I just sent her my link and I was like, we're running a special. So she signed up for the Social Collective. And that's how you make a triple write-off.
Wow. Talk about leverage. Talk about having multiple streams of income. I mean, I think that's something that's like super, super important in this day and age, is having these different multiple streams of income, no matter where it's at, and really using it to your skills and the skills that you have. But the Social Collective is taking off. It's doing very well. People are seeing great results from it.
Yes.
I do have to say, the quality of the VAs that the Social Collective is bringing in is unmatched. It's unlike anything else. It's just like if you had a executive assistant sitting right next to you. Like they are so on top of it. They are so knowledgeable. And if they don't know something, they learn something and they learn it fast. So I definitely have to give a huge shout out to your virtual assistant, Elaine, because she is just, I mean, she's here, there, everywhere. She trains these VAs that are coming in, vets them out. And she's just, she's great. She's grown so much in the last couple of years that she's been
going on 3. We're going on 3.
So it's really, really great. And I think, going into the summer, this is perfect. This is a perfect time. It's nice and bright outside. It's sunny wherever you're at, wherever you're tuning in from or listening from. It's a beautiful time of the year. We're going right into summer. School's about to be out. It's on. It's
where a lot of professionals start to lose their edge, though. So if you are a parent, okay, or if you just like hiking, boating, vacationing, it's where you can lose your edge. And so I've always been the opposite. I drill down when I know people are peacing out. Yeah. So I will work the hardest over the holidays. I'll work the hardest during the summer months because people know they can count on me. I will be there. Granted, I don't know everybody's situation. I have older kids and I built this up. So, but my favorite part about teaching people is, like you said, multiple streams of income. Everybody is a salesperson, selling yourself as a brand, whatever you're promoting.
Right. Everybody has something.
Now, it's just like letting you know the designations of the different platforms and how to use them appropriately. Yeah. So I try to teach people Facebook was never designed to be a selling platform at all. That is where you make your personal connections. And so a lot of people drill down really hard on selling themselves and their products on Facebook. People don't want that. So changing the direction of their mind and being like, okay, Facebook is where you make all of your connections. I actually get, at this point, 90% of my business still comes from Facebook because they see me, loving.
It's a personal connection. It's not selling. And it's like now that,
hey, I'm a realtor, you know where I'm at, I'm here.
There's a huge thing now. Everything got switched over to Meta. So everything is now considered Meta, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. And, they took away the ability to stream inside of groups. They took away, and that was a huge thing for people that live sell. Whether it's clothing or products or, whatever it is. And so I think they're really trying to dial in that factor and reward you for the fact that this is a connection type of platform. As much as I don't necessarily like social media myself, and I think sometimes what people, put out there isn't really what's going on. We don't have to get into that.
Fake book. You've heard of that.
Yeah, not get into that, but it's really about those connections. So, Erin really trains on, how to use these platforms, to their fullest extent in the correct way, that not only will you, in a sense, get rewarded from the algorithm on these platforms, but it's really going to showcase who you truly are. And I think sometimes people have a hard time of like, oh, what if people don't like you? Not everybody is going to like you.
Oh, that's fine. I can be a lot for people too.
Yeah, not everyone is going to like you, but at the same time, that's okay.
Well, and that's why I started talking about how I could accomplish so much. Is I've had a virtual assistant for 2 years at that time.
Yeah.
And people are like, you're just all over everywhere and you're so good at business with your clients and you're so good at teaching. And I was like, oh, do you want to know the secret?
It's because you got a second right arm.
You
know what I mean?
I have assistants. And so we developed this sustainable, collective. So it's
people are seeing great results. People are loving it. I know we've had some great feedback.
Those are my favorite text messages. Look at my reel just hit over 2 million. And so this particular person, she's been steady with her virtual assistant. You still have to produce all your own videos and you have to give them.
It doesn't mean that you don't have to put in work.
You still have
to put in some work.
You have to take all the videos and give it to them.
Yes.
And then go on with your business.
Right.
And she was so consistent. And I think I tracked it. It's been about 3.5, 4 weeks, because you will get stuck in the hundreds views. And then she started the thousands and then the tens of thousands. She got a couple 100,000 and she's
a little bit.
She's in the millions now and she's on week 4.5.
That's awesome. I mean, it's consistency. I mean, when we first started, it was, hey, we need to do this for about 3 months, 90 days, give it 90 days to really get yourself into the algorithm. And, consistency is key, no matter,
it's my favorite word.
What it is. But
maybe that will be my first tattoo.
Oh, she will never get a tattoo.
I will never get a tattoo.
The Social Collective is booming. You can always check out her website, ErinPierson-Mills.com, to take a look at it. So it's only going to continue to go up.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I love how we surf the algorithm. And so every single week we're dropping new videos, to keep up on the times and hey, this is working. And that's the best part is that all the virtual assistants, I think we're in 6 or 7 states now, many, many different jobs. It's not just for realtors. It's we've got
anybody,
people with art studios. We have insurance agents. I have nail salon Spinach artichoke dip, man. Whatever.
Reading children's books.
I love that.
Doesn't matter.
No. And so, but all the virtual assistants, they all get trained 2 times a week by Elaine and they're all in a think tank. And so now they do sign NDAs. Nobody is sharing any clients. That was a huge thing for me.
That's good.
To make sure that they're focusing on their own boss's client base. But, they're throwing ideas back and forth. And I'm just like, oh, I love that so much. So now it's not like I have, one VA. It's like everybody now has 55.
There's a community.
Yeah, a whole community.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, I just want to say enjoy this very small spot of spring before you're going to slide into the summers, wherever you guys are at. And try to book those little mental vacations in. We're pretty tuned into it. So we try to make it every other month, whether we escape alone or we'll just get a hotel room in Las Vegas and unplug by a pool. We'll take Rocco half the time. We'll take the whole family half the time.
Reset, recharge.
Yeah. Well,
re-engage with your relationship.
Our mastermind 2 weeks ago, which we filmed, which is in the training portal, was about actually calendaring with intention.
Yeah.
Putting you time in there, family time in there. And actually when your calendar dings at you have to stop for 2 hours and go get your massage or take your dogs on a walk.
Take a break.
Yoga, or whatever you want.
Lunch. Do something.
Connect with a friend.
Meditate.
Because most of the time when you meet the business owners like you and I, that we own our own businesses, very hard to unplug. I mean, it's the brain is 24/7.
Yeah.
So I walked around with a giant smile all day Saturday and I was like, best day ever. Craig's like, you're like a 3-year-old.
Nice.
I'm like, cotton candy.
I love it.
So yeah, don't burn yourself out. So I guess that's what I have to say.
Yeah.
And don't check out either.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're going into summer, if you really want to be focused, keep that consistency up because everybody else that's on vacation looking at you, enjoying your life and still producing, you're going to be the one that they're going to call when they have a need for your services.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's all I have to say today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, always. I love you. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next time. We'll put all the information for the Social Collective in the links below, or as always, ErinPierson-Mills.com, or my favorite saying, just click on the link in my bio. And what that means is on Instagram or TikTok, click there and it's just buttons away. All right. Bye.